All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome into another video with Gamecock Chuck. Hey, if you are liking this stuff, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up if you like this. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to help this channel grow. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and dive into it, man. It is South Carolina game week. That is right. I took a little time to kind of look through some of the things and just try to give my perspective on the game coming up Saturday against Texas A&M. Number 10, Texas A&M is coming to Williams-Brice Stadium to take on the Gamecocks. That's right. The last time the Aggies were in town, South Carolina caught lightning in a bottle, I guess you could say. Xavier Legette took the opening kickoff. I think it was 100 yards to the house, so your house called it. South Carolina jumped out real early on A&M and held on to that victory. Also got an interception not long after the kickoff, I believe it was, the A&M's first possession, I believe it was. I can't remember who it was that picked it off, but they picked it off down the sideline and ran it all the way back to like the red zone. Set South Carolina up, kind of reminiscent of last game against Oklahoma. We got out to that early lead. A couple turnovers helped us out. And like I said, seems like we caught lightning in a bottle that night and got out of there with a win over the Aggies that Saturday night. First win against Texas A&M since they've joined the SEC. So hopefully South Carolina can I guess get a little lightning this Saturday night when the Aggies come back to town. Whole different team though. Whole different team from both from both sides. No more Spencer Rattler, no more Juice Wells, Xavier Legette. All them guys are gone. Brought in new faces, new players, and we're going to touch on that in a little bit. Some of the leading players for each team, but different team, different head coach for Texas A&M, Mike Elko, first year head coach at Texas A&M, replaces Jimbo Fisher, comes over from Duke. Right now, Texas A&M is 7-1 overall, 5-0 in the conference. They're only undefeated team in the conference, so they up there at the top. South Carolina 4-3, 2-3 in the SEC, so kind of down towards the bottom when it comes to SEC stats. But honestly, I think this team, from what I've seen so far this year, I think they're playing a little bit of a surprise, I guess you could say, by their record, considering what I've seen through 7 games with the lack of offensive production. I guess that's not a bad record to have right there. It could be a lot worse. Also, if we have some form of offensive identity or some pulse on offense, we could be looking at a 6-1 record, because we lost against Alabama and LSU. Both of them games were like less than 5 points or right around 5 points combined. Ole Miss, we got blown out in that game. Didn't generate any offense in that game. So we could be, like I said, if we had any kind of offense, we could be sitting at like a 6-1, 5-2 record right now. A little bit better than what we are now, but it is what it is. The record is what it is. We still got 5 games left on the season, so just take care of them one game at a time and see how the season ends. Like I said, Mike Elko, first year at Texas A&M, he brought over some discipline and a culture to Texas A&M that they've been missing, or I think it's been lacking under the last head coach that was there, Jimbo Fisher. I think that team wasn't very disciplined. The culture didn't seem as good as it is right now under Mike Elko. From the outside looking in, I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just my perspective looking at it. The discipline's there, like I said, they don't hurt themselves very often on the field, making mistakes and costly penalties and things like that. So the discipline's there, right? They run, or they have 2 quarterbacks, I guess you can say. They're running like a 2 quarterback system, or they have this year. Connor Wegman started the season off. So far, he's 782 yards. 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, about a 57% completion. Marcel Reed, the guy they brought in last week to finish up the game against LSU and got them to the finish line with a victory over LSU. He's 655 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. 56%, and he also can run the ball. So he's more of a dual threat quarterback, 245 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. So we honestly, I think we're going to see Marcel Reed in this matchup Saturday night. I'd be shocked if Wegman got to start, but I would think Mike Elko will start Marcel Reed in this matchup. And he's one of them dual threat quarterbacks. He's one of the guys you got to keep in the pocket. You got to contain him. Like I said on TRS Sports the other night with my man Rooster and Jordan Dealmaker, you got to make that guy make a quick decision with the ball. You can't let him sit back there or you can't let him sit there on the option and think about, you got to make him make a quick read and disrupt his timing, get in the backfield and just be a disruption. You can't let him get in the flow of things with the option or passing the ball. Running back, they got two really good hard-nosed runners that they don't go down on first contact most time. So South Carolina's going to have to be real. They're going to have to be real good at tackling. Okay, they can't be just popping them. They got to wrap up. They got to maintain. The first guy that gets there got to wrap up. Everybody else floats to the ball, rake at it, try to strip it, whatever. Well, we got to get these guys down on first contact. We can't let them just hit us, bounce off, and continue to get yards after contact. Both of these guys can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. So South Carolina's got to be real disciplined in their lane integrity. And like I said, fundamental tackling is got to be key with these two guys. Wide receiver, Noah Thompson's their leading wide receiver, 22 receptions, 343 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They're just looking at their yards per game on offense. They're more of a, I'd say more of a run-first offense or rushing offense. They average 221.5 yards on the ground, and they average 179.6 yards per game through the air. So a little more towards the run versus the pass. They score about 32 points per game on offense. Both the defense, real solid defense. I think they're probably about top 40, somewhere around that top 40 in defense. I have to look at the stats again, or the rankings, but they give up 233 yards per game passing and 104.5 yards per game on the ground, and an average of about 18, almost 19 points per game is what they give up. So real solid defense. South Carolina needs to generate some offense. They got to figure a way to generate some offense against a really good and disciplined Texas A&M defense. When I look at South Carolina, some of their leaders on offense, Lenore Sellers, of course, quarterback, 968 yards through the air, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So got to clean that up. Got to find the open receiver and quit turning the ball over. I guess you could say need to get them that touchdown interception ratio a little lower. I guess you could say one more touchdowns than we want interceptions. He's completing about 63% of his passes, about 247 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns rushing. So yeah, Lenore's is a dual threat guy. He can take it to the house as well. A big body quarterback, about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 230, 240, somewhere around there. Big quarterback, big body. I think he has a little deceptive speed. You think he's running slower. You think he's running slow, but he can actually pull away from you. But as far as the running back room, Rocket Sanders is our leading rusher, 426 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per carry. And our talented freshman wide receiver, Mazio Bennett, leads the wide receiver room with 270 yards and 3 touchdowns. Something South Carolina's got to do. They got to find some more wide receivers. Seems like our wide receiver room is jumping off and on milk cartons. And some games, some of them show up, some games they don't. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to wide receiver room. Seems like they're having a little trouble getting open as well. So we shall see. South Carolina's offense, they average 186 yards per game through the air and 160.9 yards per game on the ground. So pretty solid there when it comes to rushing. I mean, it's more of a combined effort between Rocket and Lenoris and Attaway and Juju and all the running backs, right? So pretty solid right there, I think, as far as a rushing attack right there of almost 161 yards. South Carolina scores 25.8 points per game as a team, and this is through SEC play. So right around 26 points per game offensively. Defensively, South Carolina gives up about 196 yards through the air and 102 yards on the ground. And the defense has been pretty solid this year, giving up 18.4 points per game through 5 SEC contests, right? Both of these teams, like I said, South Carolina, they got playmakers, man. The defense is going to be on showcase here for both teams. Both teams are pretty solid defensively. South Carolina's got guys that can come off the edge. Stewart, Kennard, of course. Kennard's leading the team with 8.5 sacks. Needs 4.5 sacks to tie Jadeveon Clowney's single-season record of 13 sacks on the year. So he's looking to make his mark in his last year at South Carolina. Got a stout defensive line up front with Tonka Boogie, TJ Sanders, linebackers, Knight, Debo, Bam Martin Scott, all them guys in the mid area in the linebacker core. And then our secondary, Kilgore, Eamon Warry, big-time safety, going to make a lot of money in the NFL, projected to be a first-round draft pick there. Judge Collier. I mean, we got players out there, so it's going to be a defensive showcase for these two teams, or that's what I'm expecting. You never know, because just like that Oklahoma game, I thought that was going to be a defensive struggle, but South Carolina's defense come out and set the tone and jumped on them real quick with 21 quick points, 14 of that coming off a pick six and a scoop and score. So who knows? South Carolina's defense might set the tempo this game, or Texas A&M's defense could set the tempo. But I'm expecting both defenses to play well. This game, it opened up. I think it opened up around 4 points, 3.5, 4 points in A&M's favor. So South Carolina's getting like 4 points, I guess, in the game. I'm not really big on betting, so I'm just throwing out these numbers. Right now, it's down to about a 2.5, somewhere around there. I guess it depends on which betting site you look at. Is what I've seen on ESPN. It says 2.5 anyway, so that's what I'm going by. Like I said, I'm not no big time gambler or anything, so I don't look into all them things. But according to ESPN, it's down to about 2.5 points, in favor of A&M. So South Carolina's getting about 2.5. The keys for South Carolina to get a win, right? Texas A&M, their defense, they love to blitz. They dial up a lot of blitzes. They disguise them real well. You don't know who's coming and where they're coming from, right? So South Carolina needs to keep Lenoris Sellers upright. They got to keep him upright. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got to roll him out the pocket, get him on the outside. Wide receivers got to get open. They got to design some plays that are quick hitters and not plays that take, more than 3 or 4 seconds to develop, okay? Because it has been proven so far through 7 games, it hasn't improved at all. Our offensive line and running backs and tight ends cannot block. It doesn't seem like. They cannot keep Lenoris Sellers a clean pocket for the most part of the year. Okay, I'm being honest. I'm being real. If you don't like this, then you may be in the wrong spot. But they have trouble picking up blitzes. They have trouble keeping a clean pocket for him. We're dead last in the nation in sacks, tackles for loss, and that's it, right? That's part of the problem right there. That and plays taking forever to develop, and Lenoris just doesn't have the time to sit back in the pocket and find the open guy. But we got to keep him open. We got to keep him upright is one, okay? Got to get the ball out of his hands fast, okay? We can't let him sit back there all day. The wide receivers got to do their part, get open, okay? If they're having trouble getting off off the line, if they're having trouble getting off the DBs, and we may have bigger issues than what I think. But we got to get separation and got to get some quick hitters to the wide receiver, and just continue to play defense. Continue to play the defense that we've been playing, and I think if we do that, control the time of possession and get some turnovers. Of course, the obvious stuff, right? But we definitely need to do all these things to get a win in this matchup. Is a win possible? Yeah, a win is possible. We all know that. This team's the defense of South Carolina is really good, and if we can just get a pulse from the offense, it's possible to get a win. Now, when I look at this game, when the season started or before the season started, when I did my preseason preview and prediction for the Gamecocks, I had us winning this game because I didn't know what kind of talent Mike Elko, what kind of coaching philosophy, and how well the guys would gel and come together for him, and how well they would do this season. So I kind of gave South Carolina a win because it's at home. The crowd's going to be into it for as long as the Gamecocks will keep them excited. It all depends on the offense and defense, how long the crowd stays there. But coming into the season, I had South Carolina winning this game. Can I pick them now? I'll be honest with you, no. I can't. It's hard, man. I want to so bad, but this offense through 7 games, it's so frustrating watching this offense. Okay, it's so frustrating watching this offense out there on the field because you never know what you're gonna get. The play calling is, I've went over this before, but the play calling is pretty predictable, seems like, and pretty bland. Not much creativity that goes into it so far, unless they break out some creativity and have some explosive plays. Like I said, I can't pick South Carolina to win this game, and I'm not going to pick them to win it. I got Texas A&M coming into South Carolina and getting out there with a victory. Now, I can see them winning by a field goal if the defense plays like I think they can, right? I can see A&M sneaking out of there with a close win, or I can see South Carolina just having turnovers in on our side of the field, giving them short field, and I can see Texas A&M taking advantage of it and running away with this thing by at least 10, 14 points. So that's what I got, man. I like I said, I want to say South Carolina's going to win, but I can't until they show me something. Okay, they show me something, and if you get mad about this video, if you don't like my take on it, then I can't help you, because I'm trying to be as realistic and I just try to be real, man. That's it. I'm trying to look at everything from a positive perspective, but offensively, they haven't given me anything positive to hang my hat on when it comes to picking them in this contest right now. I think this Texas A&M is kind of hot, and we just got to be on our A game in this game to get out of there with victory. We got to have some fortunate bounces to get out of there with a win. So if you don't like this take, I can't help you, but I do appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you would, give me a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. It's up to you guys. Hit that subscribe button, help this small YouTube channel grow, and get in the comments. Let me know your prediction, let me know your thoughts, let me know your takes on the game. Like I said, I just try to keep it real, and we see, man. We got 5 more games to go. I will be doing the live fan reaction Saturday night, 7:30. So y'all come hang out with me, laugh at me if I'm dead wrong on this while we're watching it, and let's just have a good time and chat it up. And yeah, that's it. So y'all have a blessed day. Gamecock Chuck. I'll see you guys in the next one.